Hello, this is an answer to a question on conscious eating or mindful eating, mindful consumption. So this could start with, say, a little bit back from eating and start with, say, sipping a cup of water, right? Now, when we are working on integrating a mindfulness practice or an energetic practice of any kind with daily habits like eating, drinking, etc., this is a really good place to begin, because the more that we can pay attention to whatever it is that we want to pay attention to, whatever we're working on all day long, the easier it's going to be to actually develop that and build that into the subconscious recognition, function, and habits, right? So let's say you're working with vital energy and you are working right at the point of building that energy, building up that energy, that vitality, that life force, and working that through your day just to feel more energized, more bright, right? These types of things to go about your daily life. If that's what you're working on, then you might take a cup of water and you might imbue that with those qualities of vital energy, okay? As you do that, you are not just charging up the water with that energy and those qualities. You also want to start looking at the causational web of how that water got to you, how it's going to move through you, and how it's going to move once it's beyond you as well. So you start to observe the entirety of the process, and you start to apply recognition of the waters as they move through the entirety of the body, prior to entering the body and after leaving. So as you really tap in through recognition to the interconnected nature of the waters, then the way that you charge it becomes much more sacred, in the sense that through recognition of connection and interconnection, you tap very naturally into a deep type of stillness. Right, so that's why it becomes sacred. There is a equilibrium and equanimity and a stillness. So not only do you charge up the water with this recognition and this sacredness, but then as you drink the water, and you could apply this to eating food as well, as you drink the water, right, you have that same understanding and recognition of how that water moves through your body. So how does it move through the physical body? What's happening there? What are the relationships and connections? And as you become aware of these connections and relationships, the qualities that you imbued the water with, you also perceive those qualities saturating through the physical body, right? In the example that we're talking about now, increased energy, we might say increased energy, health, these types of things. So you observe that as it begins to permeate through the physical body. And then from there, you would observe to the best of your ability, the better your understanding of your body and the pathways through which water functions, the more precise you can apply this. The better your knowledge and understanding of water and how it can structure and destructure and on and on and on, the more you can understand this. And the more this will tap you into the nature of the water element itself in its relationship to the physical and vital planes, right? So in a simple exercise like mindfully drinking a cup of water, from just that simple exercise, you can develop an incredible awareness of your own body, your own mind, right? An incredible awareness of the interconnections through nature, the lack of boundaries between that which is within and that which lies all about, all around us. So you start to develop a, what could we say, that universal mind starts to unlock a little bit, and on and on and on. There's always more and more and more. Your understanding of, say, chemical function and all the functions in the body, just everything starts to unlock. So anything that you do is a doorway to everything, right? Anything is a doorway to everything. And the more we can connect with that, then the more we can really start to see how this functions. And then that prayer that you might intuit, speak aloud, speak internally, feel, etc. When you take that sip of water, right, that becomes as much a sacred act as your meditations, as anything else, because through that consumption of the water, you are in deep reverence and gratitude with absolutely everything else on the planet. So something like this can really help open up your spiritual practice so that you can begin to include everything that you do into it. This is where you really start to excel, right? This is where you really start to excel. And this is why the exploration of the elements, I'm losing my breath walking up hills, talking. This is why the exploration of the elements from the standpoint of the physical can be so important and useful, is that it really lets us, from so many different viewpoints, constantly be in recognition of the energy and connection as we move through the world, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, day by day, on and on and on. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you are interested in training, please check out the website. We have a free landing page there with the entire Initiation into Hermetics walkthrough podcast series. That is there. There's also the Qi Gong, Hermetic Alchemy and Meditation program, the Tai Chi program, and the Q&A video reference library, which is a Zenden. So you can check those out. And there should be some webinars coming up soon. We'll get more info out on those as soon as I consolidate that. All right, thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed this. Have fun, practice. Bye.